right. This is Creating ComicsGate Live. I am Rotten Glory. It is Wednesday, my dudes. And I am joined here today by David Doc Hogberg, creator of the comic book Tilt. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I know you kind of disparaged your intro video there when we were talking in the green room, but I thought it was funky. I liked it.
Well, it's just, I think it's this thing. Memes happen at the speed of light these days. It's like,
Yeah.
if you blink, you might miss the latest thing. But I think there's this thing. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and I can't say that I'm up to speed on where it originates, but it's producing some pretty fun. There was a longer one. It was like 2 minutes. I'm like 2 minutes is too long, but it was actually a little bit more funny. But yeah, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
Very.
So that's why I wanted to play it. Normally I would start with your kind of a trailer video, but I think you have a really, I think, unique trailer. It's funny, and I wanted to give people a chance to get in here before we hit it.
Mhm.
Um, Geez, how do you feel about every? This has been an interesting week in ComicsGate.
To say the least.
It's been, I mean, it's been drama filled, I guess you could say.
Especially over the Vampirella cover, which that's really kind of
Which
surprised.
isn't even. It's not even. I mean, it's not ComicsGate.
I mean, barely. Only because John Malin is involved. I mean, involved, and by involved, I mean some sort of profession. I think there's some sort of professional or friendship relationship between him and that Star Wars girl. And I can understand why people didn't like the cover. It's not. I mean, if I saw
Sure.
that in the store, I actually might buy it simply because it's so different from every other Vampirella cover you're going to see. I might look at that and go, oh, hey, something different, very different from Vampirella. I might buy that. But on the other hand, if you really, really like your regular standard run-of-the-mill Vampirella cover, I can see why you wouldn't like it. And I think, it's the way it is with comics. These things get heated
Yeah.
sometimes, and people, go
Well,
a bit overboard. And, I think Malin took some offense, and, it happens.
I don't know if you. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with everything. Like, there. Do you watch the Jack Show? Do you know what the Jack Show is?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, this is. See, this is the thing: is that that Star Wars girl is on this thing called the Jack Show with Cecil, John Malin, and Kelsey Shannon. Now, Kelsey
All
Shannon
right.
comes and goes because that's what Kelsey does. Sometimes Ethan comes on the Jack Show. It's not a Comicsgate show. It's a it's a comedy show. They riff about everything. It's kind of a depraved, no boundaries comedy show.
Okay.
And that's where that Star Wars girl formed a relationship with Cecil and John Malin and Ethan. But her Vampirella cover is not a Comicsgate project, and nobody said it was.
Yeah.
Nobody's platformed her as Comicsgate. They're friends. Malin, Ethan, Cecil, they're friends with Anna. That's
And
all
they
it
just want to
is.
be our friend.
It could have been anything. The fact that it's a comic cover is just that's what it is. It could have been an oil painting. It could have been her promoting a fucking, uh, you know, anything. They're gonna promote their friend because they're friends, and it's like I think people took it way too far. I think that it was a mistake to do that, and I think the great it could have been an opportunity because Anna there's a tremendous crossover between Fandom Menace, that crowd, and Comicsgate. There's some overlap there, but
Yeah.
Anna has access to a lot of people that could potentially be Comicsgate fans and supporters. But after this showing of just kind of outrage and animosity and it's going to turn people off to me. And it's like this was one of those situations where people should have just said congratulations on the cover, It doesn't matter if you like it or hate it. It's her business. It's between her and Dynamite. It's not a ComicsGate project. Her friends supported her because
Yeah.
that's what friends
Well,
do. It's not a big deal. I don't know why it blew up into such a thing. Da, 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 da. I think our boy's frozen. He's pulling an EVS on us. I think. Hopefully it's temporary.
you know,
You're kind of roboting
sorry.
out on
Hang
us,
on. Gosh
or is
darn
that just me? Chat. How is Doc Hogg doing? And by chat, I mean Mitchell. Hail, Mitchell. Thank you for being here. Uh,
it. Nice. Hang on.
I'm sure he'll get it figured out. Let me.
Sorry.
No, it's no worries, dude. We all go through it. My computer does it to me all the time. If you have a lot of tabs open, that can do it too. I've found that will mess me up on a regular. Dun, dun, dun. Well, folks, it it would seem that Doc Hogg has had to bounce out. I'm sure he'll be back. I'm really anxious to talk to him about his project. I think he has a very interesting concept, and he hasn't. I don't think he's gotten a whole lot of exposure uh, across the ComicsGate network as of yet. Um, but I know he's the project is due to be completed by the time the campaign ends, which is a this is a huge plus, and I think it's very professional when creators make sure that their project is going to be finished in a timely manner. I think that's really important.
Sorry about that. I haven't had internet problems all day.
Of course not. No,
Went
it's only when it matters most.
2 minutes into coming on someplace to promote my comic book, of course. But no, I was
Yes.
while I was trying to reboot here, I was thinking about what you said. And yeah, I think you're right. That is the damage is that we need to win over consumers who to ComicsGate,
Mm-hmm.
not just from the traditional comic book arenas,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
from something like like the Fandom Menace or the I'm part of the fandom collective, so to speak, because I promote their stuff, they promote mine. They've been really nice to me, and I know at this point there's not a whole lot of overlap, but certainly there can be there, and it's just that's one of the things is that I think you're right is that could alienate a lot of potential customers there, and
It
that's
just yeah, I think that if you're that Star Wars girls fan and you're looking at the behavior like you don't really know what Comicsgate is, but Anna's like done this comic book thing and maybe you've never bought a comic book thing in your life. And because you're a fan of her, you dip your toe in the water. Whether you like the cover or not, it's irrelevant.
yeah.
But it's like when they look at CG's this reaction, this volatile thing that's going on, they're like, "Wow, I'm gonna stay away from that." And I think it's a missed opportunity. I think it was misconstrued. I think it's still being leveraged, and it's just I think this is kind of a Comicsgate has been winning so hard lately that CG is like it's battle ready. It's a lean mean fighting machine.
Yeah.
It's used to being in a fight.
Hmm.
So when CG has kind of we won all the fights.
Yeah.
So CG's just kind of like, where's the next? Come on, we're ready. We're built to fight. And then we start fighting each other because
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's just the mode that CG is kind of used to. We're used to being
well,
in a
yeah. I
fight.
mean, they are it's very feisty, and I think the people who've stuck around are the ones who have been willing to take on, being called a fascist or a racist or whatever other crap. And hi, Ink Spots, how you doing? Um,
Ink.
oh, all right. Put a link in the if you can in the chat. I'd like to take a look at your video when I can. But um, they're feisty. I'm kind of feisty, and you've looked at so much of the stuff that's been put on all these videos about the SJW, art and stories, and I suspect that I think kind of what happened, and I don't want to make an excuse here, but I'm just trying to explain what happened a little bit. I think they looked at that cover and they immediately thought it does look a little bit SJW to you. Now, I'm not saying it is necessarily, but it can come across that way. It's
Because of
just
the like fuchsia kind of tones and
something like that,
yeah, yeah,
It's certainly not your traditional Vampirella, and
yeah,
I don't think it is SJW. I just think it's a different interpretation, just kind of a funny, uh, you know, um, just different interpretation. But a lot of people look at that and they it just that's how it jumped out at them, and kind
yeah,
of one of the problems I think, and again, this is not trying to make an excuse here, just explaining, it's the anonymity of the internet, of being on Twitter. Just you can fire off something quickly on your keypad. It's an instant reaction if you want to, and you don't think about it maybe the way you might think about it if you're face to face with the person, seeing their facial reactions to what you say, and maybe it slows things down a little bit. um,
right.
so that all happens, and then it just builds and builds into this snowball rolling downhill, and next thing it's turned into a big brouhaha.
Yeah, yeah. I wanna Ink posted a link to a video. He's talking about it on his channel. I definitely I wanted to kick out a video today. I got a little busy, but kind of expressing the sentiment I shared with you, which is I think it was a missed opportunity. I think all that ComicsGate needed to do was say congratulations, Anna, on getting a cover, um, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think there needed to be anything more about it because, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I watch a lot of EVS. I don't think he ever platformed that Star Wars girl on his channel to talk about. He may have mentioned that the cover existed, and
Even
it's a friend.
she
It's
has
a
been on
friend with a
camera.
campaign. You can do whatever you want, and that he didn't say it was ComicsGate. He just said, "Here's a friend. They've got a campaign going. Check it out." I don't think it was platformed on any CG as CG. I don't think it was. Anna isn't like trying to get promoted across CG networks.
Hmm.
She just did a cover for Dynamite
Yeah.
for a comic book company. That's all it was. And I don't understand why ComicsGate took it upon themselves to be offended by it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't. It's not about whether I like it or not. I don't. It's not a cover I would buy. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. I just think that it's a weird thing, and I think that it probably turned off,
Yeah.
that huge fan base that Anna has that could have potentially been Comicsgate fans, um, probably got turned off by it because the behavior was so weird. It was so volatile.
There's a difference between criticism and insult. Sometimes, granted, there's a fine line, but it just
Yeah,
easy on the internet to go right over that line, and you do that, and you do that enough, and you're right. It does
yeah.
potentially. I think it will turn off some of that audience, and it is a missed opportunity.
It's too bad. I'm gonna pull in Ink Spots here if that's okay with you.
Sure.
He's a fun guy to have on.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Hail ComicsGate.
Hail ComicsGate, hail Ink Spots.
Hail Tilt Comic. What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm just sitting here enjoying my my wonderful water and enjoying myself for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm used to Cecil. Usually he's got something other than water in his cup.
Well, I usually do too, but I actually, hell with it. Wait.
There he goes. We convinced him. That wasn't hard. Damn, that was easy. We could do that more, man.
We're bad influence, man.
Well, I know I am. I don't know about you.
We're
Here we
trouble.
Do you drink ink?
Not that much. You know, I have a couple beers now and then. Now I used to be like hardcore, but yeah, I'm older.
Yeah.
I'm older.
Yeah. You gave up your vices.
I gave them up.
Now you just slog through the wasteland of shit and piss and hope that you can succeed in ComicsGate like the rest of us.
Amen.
Good scotch like a Belveni or something like that, and I just have not had the time to indulge in that for quite some time. The last really 2 years now. So I kind of miss that, but I can still indulge some wine or some beer. I remember I was out with my landlord yesterday with my 3-year-old kid, and they're fixing some pizza for us for dinner. And they gave me a bottle of wine, and I got into about glass 3, and I was really starting to feel it. And I'm like, oh, I got 2 YouTube shows to do. And then I'm like, oh, I got 2 YouTube shows to do. Glass 4.
Nice. Exactly. So, congrats on being on the Wang cast. That is the pinnacle of success.
Oh, that was so
honestly.
Much fun. They actually got me saying the N-word on there.
Oh yeah, when they go over the what is that? Dog N. Oh yeah. Man, that comic book that they're covering. Have you seen that, Ink Spots?
Which one is it? I'm sorry.
Called
on Wangcast when they're covering this. I think it's a web comic. And it's Dog N. I'm not gonna. Well, it's Dog.
Yeah. I saw a tweet on that earlier. I was like, "What the?" I was at work, but I saw it on my phone. I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
It's being touted as the greatest comic of all time. Which
then I'll have to read
it. But no, that was a good showing, man. I think that you did well there, and that was a. I hope it moved the needle for you.
Well, I did get. I got 3 new backers this morning, and I know one of them. I always send out a thank you email shortly after I get them, and one of them came back and said, "Yeah, he saw me on Wanger last night." So I know at least one of them, and probably all 3 came from Wangers. So yeah,
Wanger is like. I'm so impressed with what he's built with his channel and the Wangcast. It's like this guy is kind of shown what you can do. You put together an entertaining show for people. He's got a great format, and Wanger's something else. I love the characters that ComicsGate brings to the table.
He's kind of his persona is a little misleading because you listen to him and you look at him and you think he's slow, but I think that's just kind of naturally how he is. But what's going on in the brain? I think
yeah, for sure,
quickly.
And I love his like. The background, like the wall in the background, usually it's just a big white wall in his house, but then like it'll occasionally have like if there's a holiday going, like there'll be some basic Easter decoration. It'll just be like hung off to the side in some weird way. It's like this is classic shit. Holy crap!
Very interesting, and he has a good cast on there too. So
yeah, he's got Carl LaRoe and Adam Post and
Bubba, the Black Jesuit now. Who the people were saying he's like I can say it, and frankly I don't care. You can say it too, and I'm like,
yeah.
First rule: stop digging.
One day I will be so famous that I will get on Wanger's channel.
That's literally how he You know, and I think it's really smart. He's like, if you get on Wangcast, that's basically, you know, life goal achieved. You've made it.
If you've got a comic to promote, just hit him up on Twitter. I mean, I couldn't believe how fast he responded to me. It was like within an hour, and he said, "Yeah, let me get you on."
Yeah, yeah.
He was super nice about it too. I mean,
Do you think he'll promote my dick pics? He might. He might.
That sounds exactly like the thing. Well, especially your dick pics, because I'm sure it's all like bent and like kind of broken and has like a fungus growing off of it. So
It's all
yeah.
veiny.
I'm sure he will.
I've got a pic here that we should promote here. That they missed this on Wanger, and I need to send it to him because I know he'll probably want. I think they've missed it. You want me to share screen here?
Do that. While we're waiting for that, I had this thing. This is just to kind of put on display how much time people have on their hands right now, and this kind of impressed me actually. So we're going to take a quick look at this.
Okay. Well, it's ready to go whenever you want to hit it, but let's take a look at this first.
We will test these legends. I hope that they are true.
That's insane. Hey, sleek choreography.
We will test these legends.
Dude, I mean,
That's not bad.
how much work? I mean, how much? You know, it's finger foo. I don't think I've ever seen finger foo before, and I was blown away by it.
It actually looks like, like what you'd see on a kung fu kind of movie. I mean, it was actually done. I have to admit, it was done pretty
It's
well.
like,
Yeah,
how do
I've,
you know people are spending too much time indoors? Well, you get finger foo.
I've seen finger foo, but it was a different kind of movie. So.
Oh no, ink spots. How did I know that it might go there with you? You fucking.
That gives new meaning to the title. Enter the Dragon.
That's right.
Enter the Dragon, yes.
All right, so we got this pick. Let us know what this is all about. Whoa! I guess you don't have to explain it much.
I think it's about love.
Safe word. I of course I've seen Safe Word for sure, but I had not seen the Geeks and Gamers rendition over here. Power Bottom. No, I assume this relates to Geeks and Gamers somehow simping a little bit for.
I think it has.
Cecil.
I also think it's also a spoof on the new Marvel.
Oh, of course,
yeah,
of course it is.
you know,
I love the tan lines on Geeks and Gamers over there. That's especially he's got a Disney logo on his cock. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I named my new video, Simpin' for ComicsGate, or Buy My Friend's Shit Artwork.
I'm also kind of sorry all the crap that's been going on between the quartering and ComicsGate. I just, Jeremy, give it up. Your math is wrong, all right? And I like your channel, and I like a lot of the stuff on Geeks and Gamers. Let's not do this, Just
I think
you're hitting.
I think
you're swacking the horn. Trust. Tell me,
Yeah.
Star Wars girl will tell you you're hitting the hornet's nest.
I think that these channels they just have to have that spicy thing almost every day, day in and day out, to keep that ball rolling,
Yeah.
And sometimes they choose they just go a little bit off the rails with it, or they hit it wrong. you know, I don't know, but I'm sure it's worked in his favor. I'm sure it got clicks. I'm sure it, you know, we have to understand it's a different mentality. He's not trying to sell people a comic book or a product per se. He just wants the numbers on the videos. That's all that's God for the quartering. So it's a different, you know, there's a different mindset there a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, I was in my new video. I'm just trying to show people how silly the whole thing is, and I'm using Cecil's artwork from our campaign. Because if anyone was simping shit art, it was me during that campaign, baby.
Right. Right.
So, did you already talk about your comic?
No,
did you talk about
we're
Tilt?
about to dive into it. What I'd like to do.
Actually simp someone, because a simp is sort of the not the non-dominant, right? So how do you what do you just bend over for something, kind of? Is that how it works?
That's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably different methods. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. It's starting to make sense in my head now, which is important. Okay,
let me show this
absolutely
show this video real quick because I think it's quite good. Dun-dun. Share audio.
Hey.
All right, we good to go. Let's do this thing. Let's get rid of that, shall we? All right, I think this video is, I think it's well done. It's really funny. It's right to the point. Let's give it a watch.
Hey kids, it's Nacho Man Bulk Rogan. Do you want mobsters, murder, and women in tight spandex? Then today's your lucky day. From Hogwild Comic, it's Tilt. What if you were Jennifer Poehler and mobsters were out to get you? Would you want the power to make kings, queens, and jacks in a deck of cards come alive to kick some ass? Of course you would. But what if the price of that power was killing the mobsters who murdered your dad? Could you do it? And more importantly, can Jennifer? Find out what happens to this sexy woman in danger and rush over to the Indiegogo. It's time to get tilted.
Yeah.
I like the last sound effect. That was good.
Classic. I just like, you know, you took a different approach. I think it's funny. You know, that was funny too.
Sorry about that. Oh well. It was for a good cause, getting beer down the gullet.
That's right.
So yeah, well, my original video actually ended up being 4 minutes long, and the one thing I kept hearing, it was good, it was informative. Parts of it actually were I thought were funny, and a lot of people said yes. But it was too long. I mean, it's 4 minutes, and so as I'm getting close to the halfway point, you know, this guy did one for the comic book Grayscale. If you go to his website, I want to see.
Oh yeah,
Nerd Over 30. If you see that one I think is even better than mine. But I liked what he did, and you know, we worked on a script. I sent him some images, and he put that together with you know, the wrestler voice for about $20. And you know, you can't really beat that price. So
no, I would say not.
And that's kind of the direction you want to go. Give him some business. It's at Brainiac420 is his Twitter handle, and he says that's the best way to reach out to him, at Brainiac420.
Nice. And did he do the voiceover, or was that you?
No, that was him.
Okay.
I do that kind of voice. I no, for the first commercial I did, I hired out the voice work to another guy who's just, you know, got a really nice announcing voice and came pretty cheap. And he's So no, I can't. I mean, listen to my voice. Come on. Not that.
So good. you wanna dive into the nitty gritty of this campaign?
Absolutely. Alrighty, I'm down to about 5 days left, and I am currently at 48% funded. It would be awesome to get off this show at least 50% funded. Let's talk a little bit about why it is called Tilt. But what did I do with? Here we go. Alrighty, moving right along here. This is the standard cover, and right here in the middle is the main character. Jennifer Poehler is her name, and from left to right here is the Queen of Hearts, the King of Hearts, and the Jack of Hearts. Now you may be saying, why are they standing out there? Why are they not actually in a deck of cards? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Alrighty. Basically, this is the opening page, splash page, and gives you a sense that something's going on here. And basically, this is the page right before her dad gets shot by mobsters. And we'll go from left to right here again. This is a mob hitman by the name of Jack Tessio. In the middle is the head mobster Johnny Ricca, and on the right here is Jack's younger brother, Marco Tessio, also a mob enforcer. And Johnny Ricca, you might notice he's kind of based on Tony Soprano, which is not an accident. That's the direction I want to go. So what you've really got here is superheroes meet the Sopranos in Tilt. Now, this is page 2, and they are shooting, as you can just see, they're killing Johnny. And after they shoot Johnny, they are then out to get his daughter as well. And there's a backstory to that. If I have some time, I'll get into that. Now, in the spirit realm, Larry, her dad's name is Larry, is basically begging a spirit to send Jennifer a power that she can use to protect herself from the mobsters. And the spirit agrees, but says there's a price. And Larry is, this is not the first meeting with the spirit. Larry knows that what the price is and doesn't want to do it, but finally agrees. And so the spirit gives Jennifer the power to make the kings, queens, and jacks in a deck of cards come alive. If you've ever looked at a deck of cards, the face cards at any length, you'll notice that pretty much all the characters are holding some kind of weapon. And so that was the idea here, is that they would come out and be able to use those weapons to protect her. And I'll just say real quick here, my artist is Marcos Lima. My colorist is Lenore King. She's on, you may know her on Twitter as at Lost Lenore. And what I like about the comic book creating process is that, as the writer, you have to let a lot of things go. That is, in particular, you've got to let, basically the way it works is, and Mike Barron said this once, and he's right, is that as a writer, you're the screenwriter and the artists are the director. They're going to bring their own vision. You've got to let them go with it. And when I wrote this scene, I thought, oh, it's a spirit realm. It's heaven, white, shiny, with some gold trim. Lenore took the script and she said, no. She thought it was a far more ominous, foreboding kind of mood. And it is, right? I mean, you're basically giving somebody the power here, as you'll see here in a minute, power to go out and kill people. Right. And so she decided, no, let's go with the more blue, violet, this kind of dull shine, and the blood red color on this guy's costume here. And I took one look at it, and first I was like, what? And then I was like, oh my God, that works so much better than what I had in mind. So, there's always these really nice surprises, and I've got kind of a bit of a control freak nature, and this just really kind of forces me to control my control freak. You don't
have to be so nice. I mean, I'm working with Ink Spots on a project, and he bends me over and lubes me up on a regular basis.
Well, as long as he kisses you first, so.
I always make sure that I know how worthless I am in this creative process.
He says he'll go, you know what you should do on this page? And I go, just shut the fuck up.
God damn. I already have this half drawn. I don't care what you fucking say. What story? What are you talking about? A story? It looks cool. It's heavy metal, motherfucker.
Well, and I'm probably going to regret saying this. Lenore, you wouldn't mind being bent over.
Ah, there we go. See, now we're getting the inside goodies. This is how you promote a comic book.
You might want to be her simp, you know?
There you go. There you go.
Okay, at any rate, the price of Jennifer getting this power is that she has to use it to go out and eliminate the mobsters who murdered her dad. Okay, so you can understand why the dad has been saying no up to this point. Now, here is where Jennifer meets the queen for the first time. She's gotten her dad's lucky deck of cards and is tossing them in a hat, a trick that her dad taught her. She throws out the Queen of Hearts, misses, it lands on the floor, it expands and flips up, and out comes the queen. And she, freaks out and passes out. Now,
Fair enough.
That's key here because, and this is the reason I titled it Tilt, is that Jennifer's character arc is in many ways going to be a very emotional one. She's going to start out, no way I could do something like this, and pees in her pants, throws up the first time she does it, to over time, she will actually start to get off on the adrenaline rush associated with it. And her weaknesses are that she's somewhat impulsive and somewhat reckless, which are bad weaknesses to have on either end. Whether you're scared to death or whether you are getting off on the adrenaline rush.
Right.
So she's going to have to deal with all that. And if you play poker to any extent at all, you will hear the term tilt. And what it is, and I define this on the first page, it's a mental state in poker in which your emotions dictate your play instead of logic and reason. And,
Yes.
Not only that, it's a very nice, succinct title. So, that's basically why I chose the title Tilt. Next up here, this is actually the very first hit, and this page was just colored about a week or so ago. I'm actually sending my next 6 pages to my letterer this evening, so this is about to be lettered. But this is the first hit. She just tosses the Jack of Hearts on the floor. Again, opens up and expands and flips up. And what I really like that my artist did here, Marcos Lima, what he did here is that the Jack is still kind of half in the card as he's getting ready to swing the axe.
Yeah. That's nice.
And as you can guess here, that's not water trailing off the axe in the last panel here. Now, this guy who's getting it here is Carmine. He is one of the drivers for the head mobster, Johnny Ricca. He was involved in getting rid of the Larry's body. So he's an easy mark. So they decided to go after him first because he's a fairly easy one to get to. You don't want to start with a real difficult one to as her first one. So,
right.
Okay. Now, this is actually a couple of pages prior. This is when they just find out exactly who all the mobsters were who were involved in her dad's murder. And the Queen of Hearts is basically saying, basically saying, we're going to need some help here. We're going to have to go out and find out when the mobsters are most vulnerable. And so she has her bring out the Queen of Spades, Diamonds, and Clubs. And that's who's coming out here at the bottom. As you know, you may notice here, the Queen of Hearts, the artist and I decided to dress her in more traditional garb. But when it came to the other 3 queens, we decided to base them more on superhero costumes. Like, for example, the Queen of Diamonds here, that's based on a woman's Robin kind of Halloween costume.
Right, nice.
And we also decided to do it because, it gives you more as your boy Zach likes to say, non-approved body type. So, you're gonna, and Jennifer's saying, okay, the Queen of Hearts is saying it's time for some reconnaissance, and Jennifer's saying, oh God, you're not gonna go out dressed like that, are you? Okay. This also was a page that was just colored, and I really like what Lenore did here. I first was like, well, they're out driving in the daytime, so why is it so dark in the car? But then again, it was a case of her realizing the mood of the scene and coloring it that way. This is also a page that's about to be lettered. But basically what's going on here is that Johnny's Ricka's driver has been killed, so he's asked Jack and Marco to pick him up.
Yeah.
And Jack, prior to this, there's a page where he thinks, and this is going to be kind of a subplot in this series here, Jack thinks that he's about to become a made man. He's absolutely certain of it. His brother, Marco's kind of warning him a little bit, don't get too confident. He won't hear of it. Well, right. In this car ride, they're finding out that Johnny's telling them that Carmine has been killed, and please, ask them, find out what you can. And then, they ask him, why are we taking you to this other mobster's place? His name is Kenny H. Since when do you hang out with him? And Johnny says, since he became a made man last night. So Jack has been passed over. Right. And what you see in the last two panels here, Marco's trying to comfort him and cheer him up a little bit. And Marco turns and just snarls at him and says, stop cheering me,
robot.
Now Jack is, his things are gonna movies here. Stop cheering me up is from True Lies, the Schwarzenegger movie. When
right, yeah.
Finds out that his wife is cheating on him, and Tom Arnold's trying to cheer him up, and he slams him against the car to stop cheering me up. And there's also a line in here where Marco Tessio, they're talking about Carmine, and Marco says Carmine's not here, which is from the movie Casino.
I think you're starting to have trouble again, man.
You might
bopping in and out.
Remember the scene where I couldn't remember his name last night. The small Italian guy who always plays the real exotic one in mob movies.
Hey, you.
Minutes after I get off the show here,
Duck Hawk, you might need to exit out and come back in again. You're roboting out a little bit on us.
All right, let me go out and
let's fix it, because last time you did that, it seemed to resolve the issue for a little bit.
Bring me back in here.
Yeah, I will. Ake!
What's up, man? Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. It's pretty cool. Characters. I like that the characters coming out of the cards like that. That's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. And the he's I know the project is well on its way to being completed. So the moment this campaign finishes, we're going to have a completed book, and it's going to get shipped out to you real quick.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I mean, that's kind of what we're shooting for with ours too, is to just be able to have the campaign ending in, a couple months and just get those people their books so that they're happy and they can start tweeting out their opinions on it so we can sell some more books.
How completely awful it is. Yeah.
They'll be like, I like the writing, but this guy ink spots. Fuck that
what a
guy.
Douche. If he'd only listened to Rot more often, it would have been better.
If only he would have listened.
That mad genius up in this bitch.
So yeah, if you guys haven't back tilt, maybe run over there, have a look at it, see what you think. If you've been watching it on here, get into that Indiegogo campaign. We'll drop the link in there again and have a closer look at those pages. Closer look at those pages.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work posted up on the site. Like I said, this thing is going to be finished real quick. He's basically made the promise in the campaign page that the moment the campaign ends, he's going to be putting this out to the printer and getting it out to people. So, you know, that's in it. This is, it's, you know, it's something that CG struggles with a little bit. I know I have stuff I backed that I've forgotten about. Been so long, I don't even remember. Like, I think I just got a book. What did I get? Cybershock.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. It was like, oh shit, I guess I backed that. All right, cool. I'm glad it's here. Haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but it's like, you know, the turnaround time, I think CG's getting better about it. I think creators are they're getting smart about it.
That's the shame about this whole big thing that's going on right now, because we are out there winning, guys. We're putting out books that are making money. The pros are looking at us. They're looking at us and they're wishing they were us. Oh man, we're winning, guys. If we just stop fighting each other.
Right.
Oh, come on, guys. We could do this.
Can do it. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm now wearing my headphones. Maybe that'll make a difference. Sometimes my speaker, who knows, that can be a little tweaky, but we'll see. Hopefully. And Joe Pesci, that's the name I was trying to remember. At any rate. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, I love what Lenore. The coloring here, because it is, again, it's a very somber kind of, you know, foreboding mood, and I love the color scheme that she put on there. Alrighty, let's. Any questions or anything that I can try to answer here real quick?
Well, I'd like to know. Ink and I were talking about, and I brought this up, is that I know that this project you're shooting to have it completed when the campaign ends.
Yes.
So you can get these books out. When people back this project, they're going to get it relatively quickly, which I think is it's a really good move. It's a smart move, and I applaud that you are handling your campaign this way.
Well, yeah, 16 pages are already completed, and probably within the next 3 days, now 22 pages will be completed. It's a 32-page book, and yeah, I have it timed out, so when the campaign ends, it will be ready to go to the printer like the next day, and so I can get things out quickly. Now,
beautiful.
I love it. Come quad glorious.
It's come quad glorious. That's right.
So yeah, no, I decided to fund a whole bunch of this up front before I went on and did Indiegogo, and you know I'll lose some money on this book, but I consider, you know, like I said, it's part of a 3-part series, and you know, if it takes off well, you know, I'll push it into more than just 3 issues, but. At any rate, yeah, I decided I was going to fund a bunch of it up front. I know a lot of people like to fund most of their stuff before you have it funded before they go to do it, and I get that, because some people are not comfortable with that risk. But
sure.
You know, this was inspired out of poker, because at one point I was trying to become a professional poker player, so I'm fairly comfortable with risk. So
right. Ink knows a little bit about that.
Woo, baby, don't get me started.
well, when I'm done talking about this, I'd actually kind of like to hear it.
He's got some stories.
Oh, bad life choices.
He did. Yeah, he certainly didn't have cards come to life to help him out. That's for sure.
Okay. Alrighty. Let me start talking about the perks. This is the standard cover. This was drawn by Jordi Armengol. You know, I love it here. We do have a scene in there where a SUV blows up, so that's what's going on in the background there. This is the variant cover drawn by Jeff Craven, and this was kind of one of those things where I was trying to come up with an idea for a variant cover. And as you know, if you work on comics, sometimes the ideas come to you very easy. Other times it's a royal pain in the ass, and this was kind of the latter case. It took me, days to finally hit upon something, and finally I'm like, Dave, this is a book about cards. Why not a house of cards with the various characters on there? And what you've got here is this is Jennifer at the top. You've got the Jack of Hearts here. He's an important character in the book. This is Jack Tessio. He's kind of doing his 007 thing, so we gave him one of the sevens in the deck. And then you got the three queens here: clubs, diamonds, and spades. So, okay, so you can you got standard cover, variant cover. This is the pinup that was drawn and colored by Lenore King. And when she told me her idea, I immediately said go for it. And the genre here is kind of action drama, kind of mobster genre. And she decided to go a little bit more in the horror direction here. So you've got the kind of creepy font on the line here. Pick a card, any card, kind of in a threatening way. And then in the back, the kings, jacks, and so forth, they're phantoms. So I like that the pinup goes kind of in a different genre direction here. The other perk that's available is actually a full deck of cards, a 54 card poker deck, and this will be on the back of the deck of the back of every card. The Marcos Lima designed this. Lenore did the coloring, and a young woman by the name of Emma Longfellow did all the lettering here. This is basically what you'll see on the back of the deck of cards, except that we're going to have to adjust the line at the bottom as Justice or Revenge in the cards. We're going to split that into two lines because I had Lenore shrink it down to the standard size of a card, which is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And it gets too blurry, so we're going to have to expand it, and the only way we can do that is to split it up into two lines. But otherwise, this is what you're going to see on the back of the deck of cards, and
that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's a pretty hefty perk, right?
Yeah,
there.
It's it is, and eventually I couldn't afford to do it this time, but at some point down the road, I am going to start taking the characters on the other sides as well, so that the Jack of Hearts is actually not going to look like your standard Jack of Hearts. He will look like the Jack of Hearts that's in the comic book.
Right.
So nice. I'll start doing that as well. I'm hoping. For me to do it next time, I would have to manage to get on Ethan Van Sciver's show, to really shoot up the backers. But if I can do that, I'll probably do it second time around. If not, probably not. But at some point, I definitely want to do that, and that is in the plan. That is in the plan. So. Alrighty, talking about some of the tiers here, you can just get the PDF if you want for $4. You can get just the standard cover, although everything after the PDF does actually come with the digital copy with the PDF. So you get one copy with the standard cover. You also get the PDF, or you can do one copy with just the variant cover. And then there is Full House here. That's two copies with both covers, the standard and the variant cover, and the PDF. This is the most, so far has been the most popular. This is a little out of date. I've actually got like 22 of those claims so far. And then the pinup and the deck of cards are actual add-ons, so you can add those on. The higher up you go, once you get to 20 to the Full House, the cheaper I make the add-ons. If you buy both,
that's cool that Indiegogo gives you that flexibility to do that.
Yeah, I love Indiegogo.
That's really nice, dude. I didn't know that was even a possibility, that you could create like discount prices as people spend. That's really nice.
Yeah, well,
damn Indiegogo.
Yeah,
rock Indiegogo.
I was when I was trying to come up with the various tiers. One of the guys that I've been working with said, you're better off doing some of these things as add-ons, or you just have so many tiers. People will get lose interest real quickly. And so I started realizing with the add-ons, I can just create different categories and price them differently. Basically, with the full house, if you do both of the add-ons, the whole thing for the 2 comics, the PDF, and the pinup and the deck of cards, $30. And I think you're going to have a hard time finding a better deal than that among other ComicsGate projects. So.
I agree.
You got some big testicles to pull this off, bro.
That was my brother.
You might say you might say I'm going all in.
You're not using any of those little baby balls, are you? Those little fucking baby balls.
My pee-pee.
Where's my pee-pee, puppy?
All right. You're talking to a guy who's lost $2,000 in a day at the poker table. So,
let's check in with ink spots on that one.
You're talking to a guy who has lost over $500,000 at the poker table. So,
in one day.
No, the most I've lost. Well, I lost maybe I lost like 50,000 in one day. The most I've ever lost on one single hand of poker, Texas Hold'em poker, was the hand where I flopped the steel wheel, and the other guy was holding on because he had a pair of aces, and he ended up on the last card getting a bigger straight flush, and then we pushed. Everything went in, and I lost somewhere around $28,000 in one hand of poker. So,
ouch.
See,
that's the type of thing that puts you on tilt. I mean, my worst beat.
There you go.
My worst beat is it was in a tournament. I had a pair of sevens. A couple people limped in. I raised. The guy next to me re-raised. Folds back around to me. I decide to call, see if I can flop, if I can catch something on the flop. Flop comes just about perfect. 7-4-3. So I have a set. I know he did not raise me with 5-6, which would give him a better hand, the only better hand possible, which was a straight. So I checked to see if I can trap him, and it works perfectly. He goes all in. I snap call. All right. Not only does he not have a pair, he turns over ace jack. All right. I ran the numbers. I am a 60-1 favorite in that situation.
Here comes the river, baby.
We're not even at the turn yet. All right. He has a 1.6% chance of winning. All right. The key card for him is the ace. Okay, because there's 7, 4, 3 out there. The turn is a deuce. The river is a 5, giving him a straight ace to 5. Yep. And I made the mistake of buying back. I was on tilt. I made the mistake of buying back into that tournament, and I lost all those chips too very quickly.
Every time I've ever lost considerable amounts of money, it's been when I was probably like 98%. I should have won, no problem, any other day of the week. But then the other guy gets lucky, and the other guy always gets lucky and just crushes the spirit right out of you.
That's right.
Very true. Very true. All righty. Well, let me talk to the other about the other 2 perks. The first one is 4 of a kind, be a thug. And basically this gets you drawn into issue 2. And what you are in this one is, well, first of all, you get every perk. You get the 2 comics with both covers. You get the PDF, you get the deck of cards and the pinup. But you also get to be drawn into issue 2, and at this perk you'll be drawn on at least 1 page. You'll basically be sort of
how big can my penis be? If I
well, we can draw you so that you are well endowed. I mean, if that's what you want,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm not going to do any actual nudity, but you can do sort of the
silhouette, the outline.
You can do the Al Gore Rolling Stone cover.
There you go.
That one.
If you want that,
I'll do it.
Bulge, baby.
I want the full log treatment.
There you go. All right. Well, this one is you basically get to be a guard in front of Johnny Ricca's country house, and you will suffer a gruesome death, and you can have your choice. First one who chooses this gets to choose their death. You can either be stabbed in the back or slashed in the throat by one of the queens. The second one here, the straight flush, you are actually Johnny Ricca's bodyguard. You'll get drawn into at least 2 pages. You will actually get this one. You'll actually get to shoot some of the good guys before you have a dagger thrown into your eye. So that'll be your gruesome death. And there's actually one more, but that one's been claimed already. It's the royal flush. You get drawn into at least 3 pages. On that one, the person who got it will be. You're basically going to be Jack Tessio's seedy friend who's a crack shot, and you'll also get to kill some good guys. And then your gruesome death will be that you will have your head chopped off from the nose up. And but my younger brother already chose that one, and I'm so glad he did because I'm going to have so much fun chopping his head off. Let me tell you.
Nice, man.
So,
I think this is you've put together a strong campaign. I like how you're working. I like how you are, working this campaign. It's very professional. You've got a lot of work done already. Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
You don't get to this place by yourself, and I've had so many people that I've been able to go to for advice. My friends Jeremy Lott, D. Jason Meadows, Adam Post has been helpful. So many guys out there have been helpful whose names aren't coming to my head right now. And that's the great thing about ComicsGate. All you have to do is start reaching out to people, and you'll get lots of good advice out there.
Lots of good advice, or complete fucking psycho behavior. You never know. Could be either one.
Well,
Could be either one.
if I'll say this, if you ask,
You roll the.
the
Roll the
psycho
dice.
behavior can be fun too. But if you ask nicely for the advice, that'll be most of what you get.
Just so you know, right now, what you're receiving is psycho behavior.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So, are you familiar?
Good night.
Are you familiar with the CG Rorschach test?
I am not, but I know you were going to.
You're about to take it.
All right.
We're gonna
Let me show you one more image here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look
This
at
is
this
it.
guy.
There you go.
Simping himself.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So again, this is we just colored this. It's going to be lettered soon, and
Nice. I like that we get both sides.
Oh yes, and
That's
hey,
my favorite part.
she ain't gonna go for no simp. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
she actually is a redhead, but she's kind of going in disguise. This is going to be to entice some mobsters into a trap, and she's kind of dressing up, and she's about to find out that some of the people who are going to be killed were not actually involved in her dad's murder, and the queen's going to tell her, yeah, but they're evil people, and of course that puts her into a bit of an emotional. I don't want to say tailspin, but whirlwind, and her recklessness comes out a little bit. So,
All right.
Alrighty, let's do the Rorschach test.
Let's do it. So basically, whatever comes into your mind, we want to judge you harshly on your initial reactions. No pressure. Nothing at all. Doesn't mean anything.
Sex.
Yeah, obviously.
Gail Simone's diaper.
Yes, okay. Next.
Sex.
Gail Simone's diaper on a different week.
I'd say diaper and tampon, but
I get a sense that nobody's taking this seriously, which is a shame because this is actually very important. This is helping people determine if you are the kind of person they want to back. Okay? As a fan, you're the creator. They need to know what
All
your
right.
mental state is. I need
Okay.
you to take this
Oh,
seriously.
if they haven't figured out what my mental state is by now,
All right.
Mark Wade's undies after he sees his lawyer bill.
Damn. That's pretty specific. I'm trying to spot that. Yeah, no, maybe. I could maybe see
Or
that.
maybe after the verdict's read, but we haven't gotten
Ah.
to it yet.
All right, what about this? Oh shit, never mind. That one was transparent. That pisses me off because it was the best one. I really wanted your reaction on that, but it's transparent and we can't fucking see it. What about this?
Wow. That is boy. G. Willow Wilson blowing into a tissue because she just found out pencil's down.
Woo!
Ooh.
This guy's he brings the creative fire in the moment. Just drops some shit. You're like Frega Boom, just kind of freestyling up in this shit. Okay, we'll do one more. I'm curious about this one.
This is actually me. Yeah, this is me throwing up into a toilet after reading Marvel's Fearless.
Oh.
Or Marvel Rising, either one. That's my vomit reaction to the reading that.
I don't know. That one looks like one of my favorite things right there. One of my favorite things.
Is it a man's asshole?
Oh yes, now I see it. Oh, hey, whoa.
All right.
yeah.
So, Doc Hogg, we're gonna feed your highly sarcastic responses where you didn't actually respond to the images, but still, my supercomputer can just read between the lines of your bullshit and figure out what you're really about. So we're gonna find out. There you have it. You're an all-in motherfucker.
All right.
Unfortunately for me, every time I'm in, I'm all in.
We know it, buddy. We know. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like? And I've got Doc Hogg's campaign in the description below, as well as his YouTube. How is that going? How is the YouTube channel going? It's a tough job building a YouTube channel.
Yes, it is, and it's getting there. I've noticed the growth has come a little faster after I finally got to subscriber 100. I suspect that YouTube's search algorithm, probably calculates it at once you get to 100. And then I've also heard that things can take off pretty good after you reach 1,000 if you work it, which would kind of make sense.
Yeah,
but it's coming. And the other thing I would say is, I one of the things I use when I promote on Twitter is the thing from Heather Antos saying that creators are not customer service representatives, and then I say, God, I love that video so much. And have you seen Deadwood Dale's take on it? I assume you have.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Deadwood Dale is just this guy's like cranking out material like a machine lately.
Oh, a fine Christian man. I can't do the whistle. That is so a fine Christian man. So anyway, but my thing is, and then the other side, I have something. This is how I look at my customers. My customers are awesome. It says, look, there is no what I'm doing here unless I have customers. So, I that's why I try to send out thank you emails as quickly as I can. Send out updates, and once you get the stuff, if it does not arrive to your satisfaction, contact me, because I want to make sure that you get what you want. And if you have ideas even for the story or for the art, things you'd like to see, I'm very open to listening to that. And even if it's critical, even if it goes over the line from critical to insult, I'm just going to do my best to take it like a professional and say I will take it under consideration. You're not going to get a bunch of fire back from me, calling you, whatever. I am a customer service representative when it comes to my comic book, and
Nice.
I am going to do my best to treat you. I mean, look, you are taking your hard-earned money. You are taking what you've gotten for providing somebody else with value, okay? And you have decided that my project has enough value that you are going to part with that and give it to me, all right? I don't quite consider that sacred, but pretty damn close. And, that's how I look at it. So, gonna treat my customers well, and, that's how I look at customers.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
I like that, and that's really the backbone of CG. I think you're doing it right, and it just sometimes it takes time. I know
it's a grind, but you just keep at it day after day, and sooner or later it gets there.
Even some of the biggest players right now, their first projects, their first thing they tried to do, it took them 2-3 tries.
Vinny
Just
Tartamella
to build that reputation, to prove to people they could do it, to make your presence known, and and you, all the while, you're getting better at your craft.
This guy's first campaign, I can't remember what it was called, didn't work. He went back at it for the second one. I haven't read this just yet. I saw a sneak preview of the script, and I promoted it pretty heavily because I thought it was really good. It's out there now.
I just got it too. Yeah.
Aaron Calamari, his first one did not failed. He came back with a second one. He learned, a lot from his first campaign and was successful the second time.
It's all about, getting better at your craft, doing it right, building a reputation, proving to people you can do it. And you never know when that pop-off moment might happen. Where something is going to just shift, and all of a sudden you're off to the races. You just got to be consistent, stick to your guns, and not be ink spots. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, if you're me, you'll put out a video like I did today, and you'll lose 4 subscribers.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that video when we're done here.
The goal there is that neither side is happy when they're done watching it.
When I actually plugged in, you have gained 1 subscriber here, sir. I subscribed when I plugged that in, so
awesome,
we will
Nice.
definitely
gain winning again. Winning.
Well, thank you so much for having me here and giving me a chance to promote Tilt here.
We had a good time. We did some good stuff. I think you're doing it right.
I appreciate that.
Applaud you. CG is having a phenomenal week of chaos and fun. That's how we do up in here. We mix it up. We get crazy.
Yeah.
Please, everybody, go check out Tilt. Check out that campaign page. It's he's offering some great deals. It's a good project. You're going to receive it because it's mostly done. You're going to get it quick. So check that out. And thank you, Inkspots, for being here. And thank you, Doc Hogg.
Well, thank you for having me again.
All right. Peace out, everybody.